Hey, what's up, guys? It is JJ, aka Lunar, and today we're going to be talking about a story time about how your boy almost died. So I was at this party, and my buddy invites me. He just calls me one day. Let's call this friend Jared. Okay, so Jared calls me and goes, "Yo, dude, I'm throwing a rager at my house. I'm throwing a party. Do you want to come? Do you want to pop over?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll be there in probably 15 minutes." So I go over to his house, and young JJ ain't thinking. He ain't thinking straight. So he's like, "Yeah, let's just do everything they're throwing at me." So, yeah, it all starts off of, drinking and stuff. And if you're young, don't drink. It's stupid. Don't do it. But your boy JJ wasn't in his right mind. So we get to this party, we're all drinking, and then he says, "Well, I got another friend that's coming over. He should be here in about 5 minutes." So the other friend is on his way, and we're all sitting here, and then fast forward about 10 minutes, and this dude finally pulls up. Let's call him Gabe. So uh, Gabe comes in the room, knocks on the door, he lets him in. He comes into the room, and he pulls a little baggie out of his backpack. Now, your boy hasn't done that many things. So, he pulls a little baggie out, and it's like paper in a bag. And I know most of you might already know what this is. He said, and I quote, and I'm already like kind of drunk. And he says, "Anybody want to do acid?" And my first instinct is like, hell yeah. Never done acid. Probably never going to do it again. But yeah, he gives everyone a tab, and I take one tab. I, take it, and then I'm not feeling anything for about 10, 15 minutes, and then the 30-minute marker comes around by. And I'm starting to feel it pretty hard. Because I'm already drunk, so I'm really, really feeling it. And it's just like my whole vision goes from like normal to everything is purple. And I was like, oh no. And then I proceeded to sit there with my eyes wide open, looking like a tweaker. And then my friend looks over at me, I don't even know what I named him, Adrian or whatever, looks over at me and says, "You good?" But, like, he was like, "You good?" And I look over at him, and in my mind, it was like he said, "You good?" In, like, very slow motion. And then his whole face melts. Like it was just, like, burning chocolate. Like you're melting chocolate. It was terrifying. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna head home. So I'm trying to play this cool. I go home, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work out. So I walk in my door, freaking out. My mom asked me what the hell is wrong with me, and I say, I'm gonna be straight honest with you. I had too much to drink. And she was like, okay, we understand. And then she was like, "Are you good? Are you okay? You look like did you take something?" I was like, "No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I just drank a little too much." She said, "Okay, well, you need to stop doing that so much." So, fast forward, I'm in my room, completely tripping balls, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. Cause like now I'm trying to like freaking stand while sleep. but like I can't go to sleep because if I close my eyes, then the trip gets even worse. I don't know if any of you guys have done acid, but it's terrible. It is awful. Probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had with anything at all. And my mom comes back in and is like, "Hey, your friend Adrian's mom just got off the phone with me and said y'all took acid. Is that true?" And my first instinct's like, "Fuck, no, she caught us." But what came out was, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what she's on. I didn't take anything. I don't know about them, though." And she proceeds to get a flashlight and flash it in my eyes. And is like, "You're clearly on something." I'm like, "I'm not." She was like, "Okay, if you don't tell me, I'm going to, like, call the cops." And I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I took a tab of acid and I am freaking out and I don't know what to do." So she helps me. She gives me, like, drinks and stuff. And then is trying to calm me down. But then, like, fast forward. Okay, so I thought that was the end of it and stuff. Like, I thought that was the end of the acid and me hanging out with those friends. I stopped hanging out with them. I was like, dude, they're just leading me into trouble. So, fast forward a couple. Oh, yeah. I really, really thought the story time would end here, but no. It just gets worse. So, fast forward a couple days. Me and my mom's boyfriend's like, my mom's boyfriend's daughters. Let me tell you, my mom's boyfriend was a fucking asshole. Like, he would just lie on purpose just to try to get me in trouble. Like, over the most bullshit stuff. And my mom would believe it. So, fast forward a couple of days, your boy JJ is just sitting on the couch, sitting in a recliner, and the sisters start fighting. And I'm like, oh man, why tonight? And it was probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. And my mom's at work. She's at Taco Bell. Okay, she worked at Taco Bell. Not gonna lie. She was at work, and I'm like, okay, I need to go to my mom's work and tell her about something. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. And I was getting ready to go, and the first sister, we'll call her, Marie. And then the other sister, we'll call her Lisa. So, Lisa and Marie, okay, so Marie goes and grabs a spoon and starts hitting Lisa with it. So I stand up and grab the spoon out of Marie's hand, and she proceeds to kick me in the balls. Like, a lot. And so I storm out of the house, and, your boy punches wood a few times. I punch a few things. But I start walking to my mom's work. And then fast forward probably 10, 20 minutes later, a cop stops me. And I was like, oh man, why today? And then it was like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? I was like, I'm going to my mom's work. My mom's boyfriend's daughters were being really rude and hit me. And he was like, really? And I was like, yes, really. He was like, well, okay, just go home. Don't go to your mom's work, go home. And I was only 2 blocks away. And I was like, you know what? Okay. So I start heading home, and then another cop stops me probably 15 minutes later. Fast forward about 15 minutes later, another cop stops me. And he goes, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going home. He was like, didn't that other cop tell you to go home? I was like, yes, that's where I'm going. He was like, well, I don't believe you. I was like, what? What? What do you mean you don't believe me? He was like, I just don't believe you. I believe you're up to something else. So he's like, roll up your sleeves and turn around, put your hands behind your back. And I was like, are you serious, dude? Like, really, right now? I'm just going home. And he was like, yes, just stop and turn around, put your hands behind your back. I'll take you home. I was like, okay, he's just going to take me home. So my mom is home at this point. And now the officer is getting more frustrated. I don't know why. He's just mad about something. And then we finally get to the house. And then my mom goes, hey, where have you been? I said, Marie hit me in the nuts a few times, and I was going to walk to your work. She was like, oh, JJ. And I was like, I'm sorry. She was like, I get it, officer. Why is he in handcuffs? Why is my son in handcuffs? What's going on? He said, well, your son is a liar. He wasn't heading to your work. He was in a freaking carjacking of somebody's car, and I guess I went hot riding with marijuana and acid in the car, and I was like, oh, man. That can only be two people I know. And he was like, and the guys were saying that we caught, the guys were saying that he was with them. And she was like, JJ, and just said my full name. And I was like, ah, man, dude. I was like, I was not in that car. I said, I promise you. And he was like, well, I don't know where your little buddies went, but you need to get them back here. And I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. And I don't know. Because I was not in that car. He was like, yeah, whatever you say. We're going to go fingerprint the car. And if your fingerprints come back, you're going to juvie. And I was like, well, I'm glad I'm not going to juvie because that would suck. And he was like, can I search him? And she was like, yeah, go right ahead. And I was like, fuck. Because I remembered, because I didn't care at first. And then I remembered, oh, shit, because your boy was vaping at this time. And I had a vape in my pocket. And I was like, oh, man, he's going to find this. And he was like, before he even searched me, he said, yeah, well, he reeks like weed. Which, I didn't reek like weed. I don't smoke weed at my house. I smoked with my friends, and I hadn't smoked with them for about 3 days. And I knew I did not smell like weed. And he searches me, grabs my phone, grabs my wallet, empties my wallet, pulls off my phone case. Then he finds the vape. And he's like, what is this? Is this weed? I was like, no, it's a vape. And he's like, why are you vaping, man? I was like, why are you putting me in handcuffs and accusing me of hot running a car with acid and marijuana in the car? He said, because you did. The guy said you did. I was like, I didn't. So my mom got a citation about vaping, me having the vape. And they put the handcuffs off me, and they took them off really rough and mean. So, fast forward probably 30 minutes, my mom comes in and is just completely mad at me. They're going to go fingerprint that car, and if your fingerprints are there, I might get arrested, and you're going to juvie for a while, buddy. And I was like, yeah, I know, but my fingerprints are on that car. She was like, all right. So the fast forward probably a day or two, the cop comes back and is like apologizing because he was in the wrong and accused me of doing stuff, which I did not do. So, yes, moral of the story, don't be friends with douchebags, and don't walk out of your house after curfew, and just don't do drugs, okay? Don't do anything I tell in my story times. So I hope you guys like this story time. If you want to hear more story times about my life, I have a lot like these. If you guys want to hear more, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Energy components that